Welcome everyone to the Master Vox, where today we're going over a Kingdom of the Noobs internal championship game. So this is between an individual house. What we have here is on the right in red, Willard97, a reoccurring guest at this point, playing Nov. And then on the left we have Redbull34, also a reoccurring player, on the left playing Dunkirk. So, Nilla, my co-cast here, what do you think about these divisions?
Well, I'll start with the in-house clan tournament going on. It's giving me flashbacks to Call of Duty with like quick scoping clans and stuff when I was a kid. So I'm getting some PTSD flashbacks, and I can just hear the lobbies in my head. But the two divisions, I'm super glad that somebody's taking up the challenge and playing Nov in a championship match, no less.
Hey, we said we will cast Nov if you play Nov. Oh my god, a Paratop on the bottom. I need to watch this. I don't care about the rest. We need to see the Paratop. Yeah, we got an engagement up north, but the Paratop is aiming. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You have two unicorn units. You have one of the best in the game, and then one that's worthless.
Oh my god, it's gonna kill its own people! No, okay, it killed something. Oh my god, the Paratop
I
did
think
it!
that's the first kill that a Paratop has ever gotten in this game.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. I've never seen a Paratop used. Up north,
when that
standard.
thing was put in the game, I tried Googling it and doing extra research on it, and I couldn't find anything, so I think Mad Matt just made it up.
I don't know, Yugoslav insurgents? Whew, if Iraq or Afghanistan, the insurgents can get pretty fucking creative. So I think that Eastern Europeans with, the power of hard times creating strong Slavs and killing Nazis will lead to some pretty interesting things.
Fair enough.
Ooh, that Yag Commando just got... Oh, that Marauder. Ooh, so good. Now, with Nov, I expect it to be kind of like a Rapana, but more communist, where they're relying a lot on air. But we're seeing actually a really good push utilizing some recon infantry and some 20 mil, anti-tank guns up north as well.
You know, thinking about it, I'd never thought about Nob as the Rapana of the Allies. And now that you say it, I need to look at the deck differently, but I still think it's going to be dog doo-doo.
I mean, it may be, but that's the way I've had to look at Nov, especially after you put the challenge out. I was like, you know what, let me look at this real quick. And you have to do the air span. You have a whole total of 3 tanks.
Yep. Yeah, and they're not good.
No. But
you have autocannons, which is okay, but that's about it.
If you look down south, you're noticing that he's relying heavily on those recon infantry. It's not holding the line at all, but you can see it's kind of clearing it out. But those Yag comps, ooh, oh, they're so good.
Yeah, if you look in the middle too, we're seeing the Molotov units for Nov being used to pretty good effect, because these Stosstrooping are really good. 15 points, they get their grenade like the engineers do, but they're only 5 men, so if a Molotov hits them, it's more detrimental to their squad than probably that grenade hitting one of these Molotov squads.
True, and I can't remember what the unit name is, but one of these communist units has 9 HE satchels that throw super fast because they're not as effective as normal satchels, so flamethrowers actually aren't as effective. I think this might be a hard counter to a jerry can division like Rosselsprung. Oh my god, it's like they came out the same thing.
It's almost like Eugen doesn't understand what power creep is.
No.
Or they do, and they know what they're doing.
Oh, they know how to make money. Let's not lie here.
Yeah, they're printing money.
They may not...
a Marauder there dropping bombs on another power creep unit, that 25 mil or 20 mil autocannon machine gun thing.
Oh, and come Follette. Yeah, that shit is... that 1,500 meter autocannon is absolutely batshit.
I was doing some trolling on Quick Play a couple weeks ago with Dunkirk, and I was using those, and I've never seen people get so salty with a unit in the game. Just a machine gun, but that 1,500 meter range with 45 AP absolutely destroys half tracks and light tanks and just dicks any infantry or support gun they run into.
Yes, it does. It kind of reminds me of the American 50 cal, where it's a 1250 meter range when it's in its tripod form, but on everything else it's 750. But you're using it to get that suppression. Ooh, that Ju-88 G1 just strafed down that Beretta 47 mil. Ooh, that's a good use of that plank. Because it's got 4 autocannons on its front.
Yeah, 420 mils, and it's got a radar that's not modeled in game.
I mean,
The
it's
Night
got it
Fighter.
on its actual model, but it's not like a in-game thing, I'd imagine.
No.
Now, one thing
That
we're going to notice here is like these disheartened pioneeri are absolutely pushing the shit in of these Germans. Like, disheartened or not, they're just murdering everything.
kind of goes back to what I was saying before about the Stosstruppen. Those Pioneeri, what are they? 15-man squads, so they're 3 times larger than the Stosstruppen, so they can eat a grenade, throw a grenade, and just wipe out the Stosstruppen. Even
Yep.
though they're 5 points more, that's a good trade because those Stosstruppen, if you leave them to go mess with a normal rifle squad, they're just going to absolutely demolish that normal rifle squad, but that's a hard counter there with this Pioneeri.
Yeah, and then one good thing about them being disheartened is they just run the hell away, so you don't have to micro them as intensively, but you also can't control when they run. It's like, we're going to watch
Exactly.
this 15-point Pioneeri just destroy that Fuhrer. Ooh, that gives him the center. Ooh, let's see. Where do you think he's going to push?
Before we answer that question, looking at what the backline is right now for Red Bull is going to answer that question. I'm noticing a ton of anti-tank for going against Snob from Red Bull. I think that might be a mistake. There's 4 Pack 38s on the field, and then a Flak 41, which makes sense for the bombers.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really need the Pack 38s if you have the Flak 41 because you can use it as a dual-purpose gun.
I don't know. The Pack 38s might be a cheaper response instead of Pack 40s to the autocannon cars that these guys get. So maybe that's the thing, because we have seen the use of like heavy amounts of autocannon cars at the beginning out of Nov.
My personal taste would be to use the Panzer IV because Nob doesn't have anything that can directly kill it in a head-to-head fight. The S-35 might be able to pen it, but it's outranged by it. So using it, plus the Panzer IV gives you the mobility and the fire support if you want to push. The Pack 38 is just strictly there to kill any light armor that you run into.
Kind of like how that Panzer IV is up north right now, where it's cutting off that entire road. I mean, yeah, that 20 millimeter is going to tickle them a little bit, but not going to do much else.
Yeah, it's about all it'll do. And maybe having a Pack 38 on the extreme flank to cover any sneaky, armored car moves or anything makes sense. But it's a lot of points there just to be sitting on AT guns. But so to answer your question, with all that in mind, I think Willard is just going to keep pushing the middle. Because if he secures the middle and then he gets his support weaponry in the trees, I know he has Pack 40s in his deck, that's going to be a strong position for him to hold. Not to mention, he wants to fight in those woods. He doesn't have the armor like the Panzer IV, the Stugs, that Dunkirk gets. So if he can stay in the trees and keep trading, effectively, like you pointed out earlier, with those disheartened Pioneeri, then he's going to be in a good spot. Now, points-wise, that might not be as cost-effective since the Stosstruppen were cheaper, but he has just as many infantry units, and he's going to have more that are more suited to fighting in those dense woods than Red Bull does.
Exactly, and one thing that you mentioned earlier about the Pioneeri being 15-man units instead of the 10-man unit standard, the Kriegsmarine Pioneers will not be able to eat a grenade and walk away because that 10 damage will instantly kill them, versus these like Yugoslavian Pioneeri, where 15 men, that grenade goes off, does 10 damage, 5 are still left.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, those guys have the Panzerschreck, so they're 25 points.
Oh yeah, yeah. The fact that Dunkirk was taken against Nov is actually very surprising to me, just because everything has a Panzerschreck, but there's nothing to shoot the Panzerschreck at.
Right. And then if I'm Dunkirk too going into this match, I want to stay away from the forest because of what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to use your tanks that you do have to good effect in the town, because it is going to be harder for Nov to take them out. There are tools, there's Pack 38s, there's Pack 40s, but it's not going to be as foolproof as just rolling a Panzer IV up with 2 MG34s and a 75 and blowing a house apart.
Oh yeah, no. Like we were talking about, when medium tanks get into that 750 meter range against infantry, ooh, that bullet hose does not turn off.
Yep, and then we can see there in the middle, there was a Pioneeri trading with a Pioneer right on the flag. They both threw a satchel charge and just killed each other because they were below 10 men.
Exactly. But what's interesting to me is we're seeing Borkai getting brought into the middle instead of more Pioneer units. Or maybe the Proletariat have Molotovs. These names, though, whew, this is rough.
The Borkai are beefy squad or beefier squads with 11 men, but they're not great and super suited for forest fighting. They have one MG30, which is or the ZB30, which is the MG26, and then an MP40. So they got 2 machine guns for close quarters, but they will lose to those pioneers.
Yeah, I think that those guys are more suited for like the town fight up north. I'm pretty much seeing a stall of action down south. I think both people are pretty content with where things are because no one's winning a push either way there. So I think the north and the center are where we're going to see most of the action, actually.
Yeah, the north looks like that's where Willard is more primed to make a push. It's that intermediate range with the infantry. Probably feels pretty confident at fighting in a firefight with the JagKampf, because even though those things are monsters with 6 G34s and 2 MG42s and a Panzerschreck, they're 35 points. That's super expensive. So for the price of one of those, you get the price of 2 of those Borsi. So you just bring up, 3 of those guys. You're paying a little bit more, but it's a 3-to-1 that you're probably going to win on that 3-to-1.
Exactly. And the Proletariat are also 20 points each, and they're basically grenadier squads. I think just the weight of numbers and maybe using either the mortars to smoke or the 20 mils is going to be the key to Nov's success here up north.
Definitely. And we can see the PaK-38 being deployed too in the town. So there is going to be a counter to that Panzer IV, and there are only, if you look at their deck here, Dunkirk only has, or at least in Red Bull's deck, 4 Panzer IVs and 8 Stugs. So losing those Panzer IVs in the town is going to be pretty detrimental, because when you roll that Stug out into the town, I love casemates, they're cool, but they're not as good in the town as that Panzer IV, because not only do they have 1 less machine gun, they don't have that turret to swivel around if you need to shoot something to your left or your right.
With the Stugs and those casemates, you kind of put them on a road and you lock that road down. Now we're seeing a mass retreat here, just trying to hold back his numbers, and I think that's going to lure the Panzer IV into the PaK-38 sites.
Yeah, that was a really good retreat there. Sometimes it's just better to give up ground, keep those units alive, do a big mass 20-point infantry unit dump, and then return. But we also have to keep in mind the incomes here too. So as the game drags on, Willard's going to have to be a little bit more choosy with how he gives up territory and loses units when doing that.
I think the PaK-38's firing at the Panzer IV, but the line of sight tool is completely fucked, so there's that.
Sure is, yep.
And now those L6s and that Blenda are going to be able to get in there and just spray those autocannons.
Yeah, but the JagKampf got that Panzerschreck, so maybe they get to shine there.
Ooh, that is true, but it looks like the L6s are actually pinning down the JagKampf before they can get that Panzerschreck off. Like, the overlapping fields of fire and the combined arms warfare is how you win. Like, pushing infantry with support, regardless of how shit your infantry is. Like, we're watching Proletariat.
Or how shit your support is. You got light tanks from North Africa out here.
But we have 2 shitty units suppressing what I would say is the best unit in Dunkirk's, roster.
Is it like basic algebra, 2 negatives make a positive, 2 shitty units make a good unit?
Ooh, it is true. But think about this. That L6 is 25 points. The Proletariat is 20 points. That's only a 10-point difference from that one JagKampf.
True. Yeah, and the JagKampf, they're not going to have the availability that these Proletariat and the L6 have too.
Jesus Christ, I'm watching these 2 L6s play ookie cookie with these Kriegsmarine infantry. Like, whew.
Spit roast.
Speaking of spit roast, if you look in the center forest here, we have 5 Proletariat, which have, again, 15-man engineer squads just getting thrown into this meat grinder against these Kriegsmarine pioneers.
So, we have 75 dudes going up against, 15. I think the 75 guys are going to win that one.
Yep. Oh, God, and 2 S-35s that are pushing up, and there's no AT here anymore because the Panzer IV died. Oh, my God. We're going to see the S-35s do the Lord's work over here.
Oh, there's a good bombing run going on in the north, though. It's about to drop on all of those fanatical infantry units, taking out the L6 and the armored car.
Oh,
Mustang's
shit.
running in, though. You can get them on the evac.
Oh, that's what happens when 2 of them hit you from the back.
Ooh. Yeah, there's a little pea shooter, though. There's the little 50 cals.
Whoa, like
Oh, they're American, or they're British Mustangs too. They only have 450 cals. Wow, those things suck. They're
really?
just fast.
Yeah, but they're
Yep.
2-star base, I think, and you get 3 of them, which is what you really need as an interceptor for your divisions.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
the
mean,
center.
There's.
Ooh.
Oh, there they go. Those
Oh.
Mustangs are super fast, so that does help. Yep.
Yeah.
There goes our. What is it? What would you call that? It's a big old riot. It's just a riot of angry Serbs.
Maybe a train, maybe something else. Who knows?
Do they have pajamas on? Zoom into their unit. They have like blue pajamas on.
Maybe it's just like normal civilian attire in Yugoslavia?
I guess. If you're Serbian, let us know in the comments. Why do you guys wear that baby blue? It looks good. You probably look really cute in it, but I don't know if I want to take that into that forest fight there. I mean, pretty easy to spot.
So speaking of the first wave of 75 proletary, another wave has shown up.
I think what's more important than that, coming out of the north spawn, top right, are the 4 pair tops. So there is going to be a caveat to our Steel Division algebra. Pair tops do not count as a bad unit, nor do they count as a good unit. What do we call it?
Neutral.
Yeah, either neutral, but it's an imaginary number.
Yeah. That.
There we go.
Ventura dive bomber just tried to take out that Panzer IV, but it forced it to fall back at least. And it's smoking.
Super low. Oh, there it goes.
Well, that's what's going to happen when you have a flak filling, a 37. Dunkirk has some good AA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a flag rolling up north. Best AA in the game for killing planes.
Oh, yeah. And then the 37 is one of the best for suppressing them. So you put those two in combination. If a plane flies over that, ooh, it's fucked.
So at this point, who's in a better spot to pull this out? Because what I'm looking at here is Willard, I think, needs just to keep up the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But Red Bull's done a really good job of just treating Willard. There's been points where Willard could have pushed, but didn't smell blood in the water and didn't go for it.
Right now, I think that Red Bull has a better positioning down south, and he needs to leverage that with his 2K units, because I do believe he has, what? You don't really need the Jagd Panther, but you have the SIG-33 and you have the IG-18s, and with that, use artillery. I know he's got the off-map in A and B. I know Attack Power vehemently hates it, but fuck him right now. That's how you dislodge these Yugoslavian communists. And then you push through. Because you have superior infantry. Oh my god, Paratops, we need to see something. Please attack ground, please.
He is. No, he's doing attack move.
Oh god, they're aiming. Oh, one fired. Oh.
Kill. Got a kill. Huge.
Oh my god, I've never seen these unicorn units actually kill things. What's going on here?
Their reload is ridiculously slow.
Oh,
2 rounds
yeah.
a minute? Come on, Mad Matt, what are we doing?
Ooh, I don't even think they knew that people were going to play them. They're like, we could just hard code it with 2 rounds a minute. No one's going to notice.
They forgot this unit exists. Strike team, do the thing. Make it better.
Alright, one thing I'm going to say, though, is that Panzer IV coming into the center area will contain the Slavs. It won't beat them back, it won't get them the flag back, but it will contain them.
It's going to contain the hard Slavs, and it's going to make hard times. Or strong Slavs. Sorry, there's too many gay jokes going on thinking about hard Slavs.
Oh my god. Hard times, hard Slavs, just kind of blend together.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah. Alright, so we're seeing that Flak 88 actually getting used against the MG42, and that will allow infantry to get pushed in here to, support the flanks.
Yeah, and then we have a shoe coming into the town, probably due to the lack of availability on the Panzer IVs.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, in the middle at this point, there's so many pioneering that they're just everywhere. It's going to be really hard to get each of those squads dug out and put down, because with that, double tick going too, all they have to do is kind of just sit there on the flags and hold out.
Yeah. Now, I'm telling you, with that last tick of, Maverick, you need that off-map. There's 3 off-maps per 1 vehicle. That would completely dislodge all of these Slavs.
Yep. Well,
But
the issue is up north is the Yagcomp for coming out. I don't know why the Yagcomp was the unit, because that's super expensive, but there's no infantry up north. It's just a KM Fear and a KM Marine infantry with no machine gun ammo.
oh shit, you're right. But at the same time, we're seeing these Kursansi getting pushed through, and they have no AT whatsoever. So that Stug is going to be able to run roughshod over them. Is there?
Oh, there they go. They're just driving at the flag.
Oh shit, this is going to be a sneaky little thing here. Oh god, in that 37. It won't switch, so correct me if I'm wrong, but AA will always prioritize aircraft over anything on the ground, right?
So I believe so.
You can, like,
unless
bait
you
them.
direct fire it, yeah.
Yeah. So you can get weird, like, baits in there where you have the flak firing at an aircraft you don't give a shit about, but you're directly hitting them with infantry.
Yep. Yeah, it's getting desperate here for Willard in terms of the anti-tank category. He's bringing up the 47 mils to take care of this one Stug and Panzer IV in the middle.
Hey, but you say that shit is fucking crazy, but those 47 mils, every time I've seen them used, always hit above their weight.
By the Yag Pioneer.
Oh, one, two got killed.
Ooh,
Jesus.
that's brutal.
It only takes one of these 47s, though. It says 65 pen, but we all know that it's more than that, because I don't know about you, but every time I've seen these 47s used, they always hit above. Look, penetration.
It's got that crazy rate of fire that helps. 20
Yeah.
rounds a minute. Oh my god.
I told you.
Takes out the Stug. That's
I told
insane.
you. I'm not even caster's cursed yet. I straight told you.
That was straight up a caster's curse right there.
Bullshit, because I called it.
Fair.
Oh, that GU88, I think might... Do you think it's going for the Proletariat or the 47?
Proletary.
Okay, or the Pioneer, yeah. Oh yeah, but because they're falling back because they're disheartened, it actually saved them.
Yep. Yeah, back when Pioneer disheartened infantry was the rage, when it was all Cherno spam. Remember Herr Robert said, yeah, not only does the issue revolve around it being so cheap and having a machine gun, but they also fall back quicker, so you don't have to micro them.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they're the best thing to hold your line because they're so unreliable, but I think they have a place, you know. Oh my god, the Pak 38's going after one of the other 4 Panzer. Oh no. Oh, Jesus. Oh, bounce. Oh.
It's gonna get it here.
Yeah.
Yep. Brutal. Oh, and the other one in the town's getting aimed at up north. Oh, it's out of line of sight now.
Oh, it's aiming again. It's aiming.
He needs to move that Pak 38.
I think it's aiming at the Panzer IV because I can kind of get a look. Yep. Oh, no. Oh.
Yikes. That's rough.
All right, out of everything we're seeing right now, I love that SIG-33 placement up north, though. Absolutely love it. Look. Just, revenge.
One thing, too, on the IG-33s, turn off the heat shells on them. They're only 750 meter range, so they're pretty much worthless. Just let it shoot at light vehicles with its, or even heavy vehicles with its HE. It'll do more damage that way.
Really? I didn't know that. Is it the same as, like, hitting a vehicle with a mortar where, like, the HE damage will just whittle it down over time?
Yeah, it'll whittle it down over time. I don't know about the direct, like, one-to-one in terms of actual damage to the unit, but it will kill it eventually if you keep hitting it.
But that's a beautiful support weapon. Like we were talking about, support weapons allowing shit troops to be able to be combat effective. We're seeing the Kriegsmarine Infantry, the SIG-33, pushing back this Borsi right now, simply because they have combined arms.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking hard up north for Willard, but Willard is just continuing to just shove infantry into the middle, which I think is the right move here. It's going to be harder for Red Bull to push through and take the flags up north because he has to clear each house and he's only got 2 minutes. When Willard has a pickup truck with a bunch of mean Yugoslavians in it that are ready to go bring the people's justice to the pioneers.
It's the Toyota Corolla before the Toyota Corolla.
Yes.
But what we're seeing here now is, like, Willard is just pushing Slavs into this, like, forest. It's just non-stop. Some of these Pioneeri have 1 HE shell, soon to be 0. Like, that's how much they've been getting used.
Yeah, they made Tito proud.
Mm-hmm. I think that both players played to the strengths of their divisions. I just think that the the Nov division was able to utilize its strength and infantry in those forested areas, and we didn't really see. Oh, look down south! Look, he's gonna retake all of this. Like I was talking about, those 2K range,
Wow.
you gotta use it. Complete collapse down south.
That's wild.
This Doug needs to just run it in for a touchdown at this point. Shut off that entire.
If I mean, it's Red Bull's still in this game. If he cuts off, if he kills anything in the middle, it's done pretty much. There's no. I don't think there's any reforming the line.
No, not on this like late Vanguard. I don't even think that Willard's noticed. Look at this.
Oh, there he goes.
Red Bull's up to 13 right now. Oh, one, but that's one Kersansi. Come on, we need aggression. We need aggression. Come on, push down south.
This is wild.
That's crazy. Like that 2K difference. Oh, the Yag Commando. Nope, it's just moving around. I think all the micro is being pretty much forced into the center and the north right now. But he's taking points back. It's beautiful.
The issue is if it just stays at a 14-10, then Willard still is going to win. There's no tick going.
Yeah, well, there's still a tick going. It's just not showing you who's going to win because, by calculations, you can't win within the 50 minutes.
Right.
But
So there goes Willard calling in infantry to kind of stabilize south. I mean, there's really the issue is with Red Bulls, he can't exploit it. His only mobile units are the Martyrs and the Stugs.
Very true. And I think that the micro intensiveness of the north, because he's taken the north back at this point, is just I don't think he's noticed it yet. Because look, he's microing everywhere in the center forest area, to include using these AR-196 for their 20 mils and recon. I just think he just didn't notice it.
Yep, and yeah, there goes a bunch of infantry now to try to get back on the flags. But this is where the Pack 30 is gonna, or the Pack 38s are gonna come in handy down south. Is you'll have them keep you from rushing in your Toyota Corollas to the point by unloading the infantry, and then the Stug can start peppering them with its 75 mil.
The IG-18 and the Pack 38 are going to be a really good combination down here, and then having the Kriegsmarine Jag Kommando for eyes is going to be invaluable. He's got that Stug 3 in a great spot so we can see all these reinforcement lanes and just start shooting at those Toyota Corollas of the 40s.
Even though he has 90 points, the tick, the proletary spam has not stopped. It's just, they're everywhere.
Well, that's because they're dirt cheap in points. Let's see if I can find a proletary. I think they're 20 points. We're gonna have to wait for them to pop out. But yeah, you can do it. Look at these Pack 38s and the both of the Pack 38s are gonna have nope.
Yeah, 20 points. Good probes very far north as you can go. There's going to be one Molotov spot up north there with the Pack 38 in the tree line, but Red Bull's like, all right, I just got to push the flag. There might not be anything there, especially now that Willard has the tick again. He has literally a minute and a half left to make something happen.
Yeah. Also, that SIG-33 up north, out of ammo. It has been doing the Lord's work, raining down HE on the Slav communists.
It did a good last shot there, too.
Yeah, it's actually, like, supported these Kriegsmarine infantry that are unvetted, just spam infantry, and it's allowing that push to continue. Oh my god, the Pioneer's gonna grenade a Pack 38.
This is the kind of game where, Willard's just sweating, trying to keep it all together.
He's, like, throwing Slavs at flags at this point, he doesn't even care anymore, he's just trying to keep them.
Absolutely nuts, just the amount of infantry that's being spammed out. That's all he has is infantry. He has nothing else.
I mean, when you're fighting Nav, that's all you're gonna fight.
Exactly. Well, that's all he has. That's all that Willard has is infantry.
Very true. And we're seeing Stugs being used to try to cut off reinforcements, though. That is a beautiful thing. Because if you look at that Pack 38, it's able to see the reinforcement road from the spawn where it goes along the southern portion of the Tannenberg Forest right there. so he can't push anything further up north.
So one thing that Red Bull could do or could have done is use those AR float planes and the Ju-88s to a little bit more effect in trying to snipe the packs, because Knob doesn't have a great AA setup. It's just got those little 25 mils and then some crappy 75 flat guns, and then a couple of fighters. So if you're able to range out the fighters there with the 88s and the flak Freelings, then you can just start going around and picking off all those AT guns and then start being more mobile with your tanks, because there's nothing to threaten them at that point.
Yep. I agree. I think just denying the support weapons would have been the biggest thing you could do. Just try to interdict those things. I'm going to point out here that the trades from those L6s are bad shit. Because that L6 is really 25 points. Just having the Pioneer or the Proletary just eat the Yagd lead just so the L6s could fire was one of the best things that was done as a, like, you know, conjunction of combined arms, I would say.
Yeah, like 4x, it's like worth.
I would like you to look at the losses tab though, and look at that Pack 38.
Yeah, I guess I should keep my tongue.
Oh my god! Look at the other Pack 38. That means that all of those were transport snipes because it doesn't have HE.
Keep scrolling down, and you'll see an IG-33 that just feasted on infantry and support weapons.
Oh my god! Are you talking about Walker?
Yeah.
I bet that was the one up north.
Walker is definitely getting the Iron Cross.
Oh yeah,
service.
And some of these Yagd comps actually traded really, really well against the Slav infantry, but there was just too many of them. There's just too much.
Yeah, and then one of them took out the two L6s with its Panzer Strike.
Oh shit! I guess it's a good thing that he did bring those Panzer Shreks. All right. Before we close out, is there any piece of advice or anything that you noticed that you wanted to point out from this game?
From a high level, with Red Bull, is just choosing the terrain a little bit better, trying to be. You're gonna have to fight in the forest no matter what, but you can shape the engagement to where you're in a more defensive position. You have the ability to draw Willard into your line. Now, granted, it's pretty hard to know what Knob's going to throw at you because nobody knows what's in the deck, let alone does Willard know what's in the deck, because it's Knob, nobody plays it. But fighting in the open ground against Snob, that's the key, because we saw those IG-33s do some really good work against the support weapons and infantry that we were just talking about. If that was the focal point of the game, if you made Willard focus on the IG-33s and stopping them from being really strong, that would have freed up so many more options for you, where you could have called an 88 to deal with planes trying to deal with it. If you're getting an artillery duel, you're probably going to win because you have a better air force. Knob doesn't have AA. You could just bomb his artillery. There's a lot of different snowballing effects that comes around dictating the engagement, especially against a division that's so hamstrung from, like, even being in the game. Like, Knob shouldn't be in the game. So just abuse it for being in the game. Stay in the open, use the range, and just bully anybody playing Knob. But on the flip side, I don't know if Willard could have played that really any better, other than letting like a quarter of his infantry get your transport sniped by that one Pack 38. Like, played really well, did everything he needed to do, but in everything he needed to do was infantry spam. You're going to get some transport snipes when you're infantry spamming.
Exactly. You know what that Pack 38 did? It created hard times to make strong Slavs.
I thought you were going to say the Lord's work, but that is the Lord's work. So.
All right, and everyone, I'd like to do our plug for the Hobo Tango's Kingdom of the Noobs. It's an alternative or in conjunction with Steel Division League, so you can get in there. It's another clan for Steel Division to be able to play additional games, have fun, do clan stuff. It's not an 08 lobby of Call of Duty. It's kind of close, but it's a fun time. So links will be in the description, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's stuck around this long. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, with that, have a great day, and thank you very much, Nilla, for popping in to do another cast.
No problem. Later, folks.